Now, basically, the United States is under martial law, but they haven't really said that. And what Trump is doing, he's kind of pretending like this is not a federal decision. This is the states are doing this, and I'm against it, and all these things. Well, that's a pretty clever way to implement martial law in the United States. So they're having all the governors implement the martial law. Trans actors, and then Trump is basically controlled opposition, all right? He's like Alex Jones or one of these guys. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter what they do, what they say. It's all part of the drama. This person opposed stay-home order, but yet they're closing the food processing plants. And of course, this is an androgynous Kabbalist. You got the old trachea action going on. There's a couple of them. Yeah. Next to Trump, the shoulders, the humerus bone. Let's see if we can get a good one for the brainwashed masses. Here we go. We got the trachea. You got the makeup and lipstick. You got that going on. There's the male skull, bony male skull. All right. Bony male skull. Smooth. They smooth out the face. They get like a facelift. Brow bone, cheekbone, jaw, nose job, low body fat. South Dakota, governed by a drag queen. Channeling the goddess Inanna, goddess of fertility and war, goddess of opposites. You know, all those protesters out there, they just don't know about this. Trump giving some advice to the androgyne. Trump with the long hair. Now, I suppose at night he might let the hair down and just let his natural female side come out. Yeah, that's what's sad. You know, I think it's good people are out there protesting, but a lot of them have Trump signs and stuff. Like, they just don't get it. It's just too weird for people to handle. Because really what it means is, you know, we've been slaves our whole life. They're just kind of basically laying their cards on the table now and saying, hey, you guys are all slaves. They've let us use their technology, their society. See, they created the society, just like Babylon, right? It was the Masons, the bricklayers built the Tower of Babel and the city and kingdom. Babel wasn't just a tower, it was a huge city. Rhode Island. Now, I haven't heard too much about Rhode Island in this transdemic, but seems like the T virus has spread to the highest levels of government in Rhode Island. Again, the smooth, hairless skin. See, they kind of put the more ugly, homely ones in the government. That's a man. It's one of these kind of thin, skinny, probably a Jewish dude. I kind of know a guy who looks kind of like this. If you put makeup on him, look a lot like that. They like the old monochrome. See, look at the colors. Now, I've mentioned this. I have not studied this out in detail, but they use colors in a Kabbalistic way, you know, alchemy, all that stuff. All right, it's their religion. There we go. The purple. See, the purple day. Governor of Rhode Island, cracking down, locking people in their homes, hunting down escaped New Yorkers. Yeah, what is that? Come on. That's like, you know, a guy who looks like that. Everybody knows somebody who looks like this, and it's a male every time. For some reason, this person is wearing a green shirt and red lipstick. This is their religion. People, see, they didn't tell us about this religion when we were growing up. We didn't know it existed, but it does, and it's hiding in plain sight. The world is insane. We live in a prison, but we also live in a giant insane asylum. Get me out of here, man. If there's one transvestite governor, do you think they're going to stop there? And see, they're the ones who are implementing it, or at least that's the way they want it to look. It doesn't matter if they're Democrat or Republican. They're all in on it. How do people not realize it? Now, I would suggest that people in Rhode Island surround... What's this little Asian girl doing back there, by the way? What's going on there? Surround the Capitol. In fact, in all states, yeah, I agree. Go fight, go protest, do whatever you want to do. They will crack down. You know, that is part of the... They do these scenario plannings, actually, right? So they have these think tanks and consulting firms and all this stuff. They know exactly how we're going to respond because they've done these simulations, right? We got to think a few chess moves ahead. Your drag queen governor has locked you down. Doesn't that kind of piss you off? I was raised in, you know, I think most guys, not all guys, unfortunately, but most guys, we will not hit a woman, right? We don't hit women. That's not cool. So don't hit a woman. This is not a woman. So that rule does not apply, all right? I'm just saying, don't punch women in the face. This is not a woman, all right? That's all I'm saying. Rhode Island. a transvestite has locked you in your homes. What are you going to do about it? Michigan, a transvestite has locked you in your home. What are you going to do about it? Oregon, a transvestite has locked you in your homes. What are you going to do about it? Maine, Michael Myers, dressed as a transvestite, has locked you in their homes. A transvestite has locked you in your home. What are you going to do about it? Maine, a transvestite has locked you in your homes and taken away your jobs. They want to take away your food. What are you going to do about it? Maine. This is worse than a Stephen King movie. A transvestite has locked you in your homes, taken away your jobs, enslaved the human race. The transvestites have enslaved the human race. Trump is one of them. Governor Cuomo of New York. All right, so his brother is, quote unquote brother, CNN reporter. Okay, so you got and both these brothers, by the way, children of the former governor of New York. All right, a very elite political family. One is governor of New York, the other a CNN reporter. You see how that works. Government, mass media, it's the same thing. Chris Cuomo gives update on wife Christina's coronavirus. For some reason, a lot of celebrities are coming down with the not only the T virus, but also the coronavirus, the crown, the Kether. She's stronger than I am. Well, there's a bit of truth right there. His wife is stronger than he is. Yes, that is true. His wife is stronger than he is. Yes, you are correct. Lean muscle mass, muscular breasts. Last I checked, real women have soft breasts, but I don't know. The body fat composition of a male. All right? She's got the look. What, is he married to Caitlyn Jenner? What's going on here? Yeah, so again, and he's kind of got the look as well, right? So, yes, the look. The soft, androgynous look of a newscaster. A transcaster, as we call them back home. Kind of got the old Caitlyn Jenner look. Yeah, but those you gotta itch, you gotta scratch down there sometimes, don't you? See what's going on there? The transcaster. How about his brother? Now his brother, oh yeah, there you go. Got the square-jawed, Adam's apple-necked, brow-boned, heavily make-upped wife. Again, what are we looking at here? Something going on, something funny about this family. Something very strange going on. And these are kind of some of the two most prominent people. And of course, this guy was married to a Kennedy, all right? A Kennedy. The Kennedys are a bunch of transformers also. They like their little death hoaxes. Speaking of dead Kennedys, it's a holiday in Cambodia. The whole world is in Cambodia right now. Yeah, it's a pretty strong jaw you got there. And look at this. The face, all right? The faceless man. Where's the bones in your face? How come your wife has such a bony face, but your face is kind of soft and round? A governor and a newscaster. 3 daughters. Oh no. See, it just goes on and on. It really is very disturbing. It's disturbing. I'm sorry to tell you this, but it is disturbing. All right, we got the Republican AOC, which is Cortez, the killer, who's the Democratic AOC, Republican AOC, Laura Loomer, the Weaver, the Dream Weaver. I've seen a lot of large-skulled entities on my channel lately with lots of makeup. Kind of looks like Ann Wilson of Heart. Standard issue politician hip pads, hand on the hips, Masonic hand signs, and lots of stuff going on. The monochrome blue, so it's a blue day. Is that Venus? It's one, the planets and all this stuff, the wandering stars, the errant stars, actually, false teachers. And you got the blue and the red, which combined means purple, of course, right? And Democrat-Republican dichotomy is just purple. Order out of chaos. Purple is coming soon, all right? District 21, 777. This person is like supposedly 26 years old. All right. Oh, and this thing here. There it is right there. The hexagram, the phallus, and the chalice. The 2 triangles. The hexagram. The cube. All right. That's also a cube. So the sacred geometry, it kind of looks like one shape to us, but in their mind, they can see all kinds of shapes, and it all has all kinds of meaning. All right, and this person is Jewish, by the way. So, all right. Aha, there you go. The hexagram, the cube, right? That's what they're doing right there. Not only covering up the hips, and you can tell this person's crossing the legs as well, right? So, using the clothing, the illusion of female curve. Pretty convincing, actually. That's a pretty good illusion you got going on there. That'll fool the masses to help distract us from this enormous head that you got going on there, caked with makeup. They're basically telling you right there they're an androgynous Kabbalist. And why would a 26-year-old person be in the government anyway? You know what I'm saying? The mirror image, the above as below, the water in the background as well. That's all intentional, right? The heavens and the earth mirror image, right? Above, below. Androgynous self-generating deity, the demigod. And here you go. You got all the interconnected circles, the male and female combined. There's the central one right there, the Vesica Piscis. And the claw, doing the claw. Sticking the butt out. But that skull remains. Nothing you can do about that, really. They tighten up the face. They remove all the hair. So basically, Osiris and Isis and Horus are kind of more famous, but it may have originated with Hathor. And they just kind of changed the name and stuff like that. Hathor continued to appear in this role, especially when nursing the pharaoh. Nursing the pharaoh. So the pharaohs are the children of the androgynous goddess. Hathor cow, the cow, right? The golden calf. Goddess's milk. They like to go in bathtubs full of milk because the milk comes from the goddess. And it just goes on and on. Festivals. Drinking and dancing, ritual purpose, religious ecstasy, altered state of consciousness, interacting with the divine realm, drunkenness. It sounds a lot like stuff going on in Greece and Rome, and even modern-day festivals as well, right? The return of the Eye of Ra, the other eye goddesses, Festival of drunkenness, represented the opposite of the sorrow, hunger, and thirst associated with death.